This week I'm finishing up installing the coamings. There's a bunch of detail work that has to be done to get them stuck to the deck, and they've turned out really nice. And then this is a really wonderful time of year in Port Townsend, and we're going to bring you along for the festivities. My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home. A lot of people were asking about how water is going to get out from around the winch base. You know, water can fall down through the coaming into where the winch base is. And so what I'm doing is cutting drains in the deck, and so there'll be a few drains inside the coaming because water can get in through the cubbies and everything. So what I'm doing is just cutting holes through the deck. So I just went partially through with the bigger hole saw, and that way there's a little ledge, kind of a rabbit that goes around the inside of the hole there. And so when I put the tube in, there is extra space for the epoxy to seal it up with and make it strong. And then I'm gluing in a little piece of pipe, a little piece of fiberglass tube into the deck that sticks out the bottom, and then we'll just plumb just some hose that will drain it back into the cockpit. It's an easy solution to let water drain out of the cubbies if water gets in there. So it's a very easy project. So this is done. All I'm going to do is just sand off the top so it's perfectly smooth to the deck, and that's it. There's the perfect little 1.5 inches underneath the deck where a hose will fit to it, and I'll just plumb them all together and they'll plumb down into the cockpit. Okay, these coaming tops are ready to start being glued together to the supports in the deck. I added one more piece of reinforcement to both sides of each coaming as per Evan, just recommending that the reinforcement is going in the direction of the load of the halyards. And so the first thing I'm going to do is glue the supports onto the coamings, and then I'm currently sand prepping and everything, cleaning up on the deck, and as soon as I'm done with that, then we'll take these up to the deck and glue them to the deck. And later this evening we can start laminating the coaming tops to the deck. So a lot to get done today. I'm going to go underneath and screw the supports to the deck from inside the boat.
So how many hours did it take to cut all these materials?
Maybe 2 or 3. We're glassing the underside of the coaming to the deck. It's a whole bunch of small pieces. It's gonna be an all-nighter.
An actual all-nighter?
Maybe.
Beautiful. No?
Yeah, I got this one backwards again.
It's tricky.
It is tricky. It wasn't an all-nighter, but it did take me a few hours to laminate each side because of all the corners and edges and pieces and parts. This project will require thousands of hours of work to turn it into the boat we want. Working late into the evening, I often find myself dreaming of what it will be like to sail this boat fast to Alaska or French Polynesia, and this daydreaming helps get me through the more grueling days of work. And the next day, I glued on the outside of the coamings.
Did you run out of your thick sew?
I did.
You've been spoilt by it.
I know.
Hey, Matt.
Hmm?
What's up with that star? Were you giving yourself a gold star for the coamings?
A red star?
A red
No,
star?
it's the starboard side.
Oh, of course.
Finally, I laminated over the outboard sides of the coamings. Honestly, I was not terribly excited about how the coaming looked when it was just screwed together, but after seeing it closer to finish, I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Race to Alaska is a 750-mile ocean race between Port Townsend and Ketchikan, Alaska. The only rules are no motors and no support along the way. Because those are the only rules, we get sailing vessels, as well as kayaks, stand-up paddleboards, rowboats, anything that'll float on the water and get people north to Ketchikan. This race was conceived of as a way to get people from different disciplines on the water, different types of adventurers, to come together with the same goal in mind and leave all the conventions of typical sail racing or paddle racing behind. The very few rules in Race to Alaska opens up the possibilities for everybody.
I made these chocolate cookies for Dan, who is racing in the Race to Alaska. We're going to bring them to him.
Okay, so we're down here in Port Townsend at Point Hudson Marina, and we are with Dan, who is doing the Race to Alaska on Team Hornblower. Dan is going to Alaska by himself, and so Dan, we're wondering first where you're from and why you decided to do the Race to Alaska.
I'm from Connecticut, and why I decided to do it, why not? Because it was inspiring, the whole thing, considering the guys who first did it, right? A few trailblazers like Matt. So, no, it seemed like a really wonderful idea. I retired, COVID hit, built a boat in the garage, and had to use it for something, and nothing better than this. So it's been a dream for a while.
So Dan it's an Angus rowboat. What do you call it?
Yeah,
Angus?
Colin Angus's row cruiser. So
and how
that's
did you
what it
decide
started.
on this one?
Well, he did it really well. It seemed to make sense with a rowing station, having a sail. It worked for me, but I modified it pretty significantly.
And you're a rower or a sailor or both?
I'm a sailor, reluctant rower.
Reluctant
rower.
And you can sleep inside the boat when you're...
There you go. I mean, I can sleep inside, and it's really comfortable.
It looks very cozy.
Yeah, it's very cozy. My feet go all the way, basically to the mast.
How long did it take you to put this together?
About, maybe 200 hours total.
Okay.
With everything, but of course then I tweaking it.
Right.
So adding this, adding that, and everything took a little time.
Yeah.
And also I built the lee board 3 times because I broke 2 of them. So
it happens.
Not everything works.
Yeah.
And but that's how you learn. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I had to admit that I love the process of making the boat.
Yeah.
And I hope I enjoy sailing it too. But
yeah.
The building was fun. The problem solving, figuring things out.
It is.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But you have an idea about how long it's going to take you?
I have no idea.
You have a hope?
I have a hope. Let's see. You did it in 5 days, so I should. I'm counting on maybe 21 days.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'll see. I'll see. I really don't care.
That's we were talking about. It's all about the journey.
It's all about the journey, and I do like that. I'm not a racer, so
yeah.
I enjoy the zen part of just traveling. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll be watching. We're excited for you. Another boat we have our eye on for the Race to Alaska is Team We Break for Whales. A close friend of ours, John, is a crew on this boat, and we are rooting for them for line honors. This is a boat I've had my eye on for many years here in the Pacific Northwest. Grey Wolf is a custom-built, Roger Martin-designed sloop with a freestanding mast, and it's built out of wood. It's a very fast and very beautiful boat.
You did it.
What have I done? like 4:55 in the morning. We're about 5 minutes away from the start of the race to Alaska.
Are you racing this boat, honey? Wish you were racing?
Oh, no, I think I'm okay. There you go. Off into the sunrise. There goes Dan. We drove out to the north of town to watch the boats begin crossing to Canada. So many of you, our subscribers, Patreons, commenters, and everyone else, have been cheering us on, and we're so happy to get to meet folks like Dan and help cheer him on as he pursues a dream and adventure of his own. So we have Al with us again today. We've introduced Al a few times, but he is an old friend. I've done a lot of sailing with Al. Al also built and designed our last boat, Louise, the boat that that inspired the design for Duracell, the changes that we're making to Duracell. And another connection to Al is that Al and I and another friend, Graham, did the Race to Alaska in 2015, because Al was the one that put the whole race together for us, found the boat for us, and we won the race, and he was the one that led us there.
How did you win the race?
We won the race by some luck, some skill, some preparedness, and we were able to keep sailing when most of the other boats didn't, and that's what won us the race. We got through Seymour Narrows barely, against the tide, and then the next 3 or 4 boats did not, so we had a little cushion, and so we went up by Chatham Point and spent the night and got rested before going down Johnstone Straits in much the same conditions as a lot of people have had, 25 knots on the nose and foul tide. And we kept sailing, and we got to Alert Bay and then realized nobody else went through Seymour Narrows in the next whole day. So we said, okay, good for us. Keep the boat together and we should be fine.
Yeah.
Matt, I remember you saying that you only slept a total of, I don't know, was it 6-10 hours in 5 days or something? Is that true?
I probably slept a little more than that, but the one night at Chatham Point, we got 4 hours or whatever, because we got up
that was
really early the next day, and I think we got in bed at 10 or 12 at night, and then woke up at 4 o'clock and hit it hard. But otherwise, between then, it was very short sleeps in a very loud boat. I remember going upwind.
Yeah, it's a tough boat to get good sleep. I can empathize with the people on the ocean race in the IMOCAs. It's all carbon. It's just noisy and kind of violent motion.
Yeah.
We didn't. None of us got a lot of sleep in 5 days.
And it was powered by Kind bars, right? Here.
We had one real meal over the course of 5 days. The rest of them were
Yeah.
Kind bars and
And assorted other.
instant coffee.
Oh. Yeah, a lot of instant coffee.
And this was fun?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Definitely the type 2 or whatever kind of fun. In the moment, it was very, very difficult and cold and wet and windy and uncomfortable, but there were some extremely gorgeous moments and very fast sailing
And very slow pedaling, or not pedaling, paddling.
yeah.
It's excruciating, the paddle part. We would, if we did this again, we would need some better human power, pedal drive, something.
We were really lucky to only have to do maybe 6 hours of rowing
Yeah.
during the whole race.
If we did this again?
Yeah. Right over there. There's a tool.
Yeah.
So what do you guys like or think is cool about the Race to Alaska?
That you're on your own, that you can basically use anything, and I guess I like that everybody seems to watch out for everybody else. Everybody's helping each other. It's competitive, but it's also supportive.
I love the remoteness of the area as you get further and further north, and it's the scenery is constantly changing. You know, you have these areas they have to go through that are just unbelievable, and like really technical sailing, going through the islands into Bella Bella, going up Johnstone Strait, and then you get out into open ocean when you're going up Hecate, and then all of a sudden you're in Alaska. It's even crazier. And so yeah, it's unbelievable waters to be sailing in.
Do you want to show Al the inside of your arm?
They get free tattoos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it a real tattoo or
It
a henna?
is.
Nice. Good job. I don't have one.
It's not too late.
I am extremely proud of the fact that I got to be part of that team and do the race, and you know, the fact that we got to win it, that we won it, was like, you know, just the icing on top. But like the whole thing is just a really, really fun event and fun sail and great people.
Yeah, and just finishing is a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
You can see there's a lot of attrition, particularly this year, even last year. So yeah, just making it over the course is a big deal.
So quick R2AK race update. The race started last Thursday. This morning, Wednesday, one boat has finished, and that is the team We Break for Whales on Grey Wolf. So congratulations to them. Dan, who we interviewed in the video, had to drop out of the race a few days ago. He had a few boat malfunctions. He promised us that he'll be back next year with a better boat, and so we're really excited to see him again. And, you know, just getting to the start line is half the battle, and so we applaud him for making it as far as he did. We got to meet a few Patreons while we were during the festivities of the Race to Alaska. Carly and Tanner were here. Carly just made a documentary about the 7048, which is another adventure race that the Maritime Center puts on. It's a really cool race, and she made a very inspiring video, movie documentary about the race. And so check that out. We'll put the link in the description below the video. And lastly, we have a couple of new Patreons to thank. First, thank you to Keith, who is in Australia. He said that nowadays he's a tinkerer, spending time working on epoxy projects and fine tools and other stuff. So thank you very much, Keith. And then also thank you to Andrew, who just finished his ASA 101 course. which is your intro to sailing course in Narragansett Bay, and he said he really enjoyed it, so hopefully he sticks with it, and we'll look forward to seeing him out on the water. So thanks again so much to everyone. See you next week.